And I mean, look at the woman who they want to put in charge. She's the Nobel War Prize winner, Maria Corina Machado. And look at what she told Donald Trump Jr. Do you have this element? I mean, she's basically saying she's going to mass impoverish Venezuelans to enrich the people who are paying for her existence.
Forget about Saudi Arabia. Forget about the Saudis. I mean, we have more oil. I mean, infinite potential. And we're going to open markets. We're going to kick off the government from the oil sector. We are going to privatize all our industry. Venezuela has huge resources: oil, gas, minerals, land, technology. And as you said before, we have a strategic location, hours from the United States. So we're going to do this right. We know what we have to do. And American companies are in, super strategic position to invest. This country, Venezuela, is going to be the brightest opportunity for investment of American companies, of good people that are going to make a lot of money.
I mean, really edgy content over there on Rumble. Triggered with Donald Trump Jr. interviewing the Nobel Peace Prize winner. I mean, this is before she won, about how she wants to help the U.S. loot her country and steal its resources and cause even more migration. Yeah.
By the way, the Trump administration is just a straight up con right now. They're directing contracts to a drone company where Eric Trump's on the board. They brought in $1 billion in crypto revenue selling NFTs and ridiculous crypto meme coins that are essentially worthless as cover for bribery. And Maria Corina Machado, I mean, she's getting in on the grift. But one thing she doesn't understand when she points to Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia has Aramco, which is a state-owned oil company that funds the entire social sector of Saudi Arabia and basically pays Saudi citizens to accept the Saudi monarchy because they basically just get paid to exist there.
Yeah.
And that's what Venezuela would have been. And there would have never been waves of poor migrants after Hugo Chavez fought the managerial class in Venezuela for control of PDVSA, the state oil company. Instead, as he said, Aaron, they sanctioned Venezuela. Starting in 2015, Obama started the war to destroy the oil exports. In 2019, our colleague Anya Parampil reported on a State Department document that was actually scrubbed from the website, but she caught it before it was gone, where they boasted about all the economic damage, including lowering the standard of living inside Venezuela, a State Department document through sanctions. And now Maria Corina Machado wants to privatize everything and hand it over to Trump Incorporated after winning the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is the woman they want to put in power through force. She'll ride in on the back of a tank. And Lindsey Graham was on Sean Hannity, sort of the voice of George W. Bush era Republicanism. I can't even call it conservatism or whatever. This is a guy who used to wear a CIA pin. He took off the CIA pin for this segment because I guess it would have been just too obvious after Trump authorized the CIA to conduct lethal activities inside Venezuela. And he calls for Maria Corina Machado not to be president of Venezuela, but to be governor.
I had a chat with you this weekend, and I thought you had a pretty darn good idea. And you said you were going to share it with the president. I want to know if you did. And that is this opposition leader in Venezuela that won the Nobel Prize that said it really deserved to go to Donald Trump. Sounds like a pretty good leader to me for the people of Venezuela and the end of narco-terrorism and a better relationship with the U.S. Or if they choose maybe the 51st state, I don't know.
Sounds good to me, but the opposition.
Going back to James' story for a second, where he talks about how Venezuela is in league with our strategic adversaries. Well, look, first of all, do states have the right to form alliances as they choose? I mean, that was kind of the whole point of the Ukraine proxy war, right? Like, if Ukraine wants to join NATO, they should be allowed to. We have to have a war over that. So, I mean, if Venezuela wants to be a partner with someone else, they have that right. But even putting that aside, what do you expect Venezuela to do? if you've been trying to overthrow their government for more than 2 decades and you've stolen their state oil company, as Anya documents in her book, Corporate Coup, and you've put them under murderous sanctions that destroy the economy, you think they're not going to go to other places and try to have partnerships?
Yeah.
And what they really hate about Venezuela is the fact that Venezuela tried to use its resources, not, Saudi style, where just basically like, giving its citizens a life of luxury. They've tried to help the poor majority in their country, and also help countries across the global south, Cuba, Haiti, through PetroCaribe, giving them subsidized oil, and even help low-income people in the U.S. I mean, how much do U.S. elites still resent Venezuela for the program they had, where they were subsidizing heating oil for low-income Americans in the winter? You just can't do that. You're not supposed to do that when you have resources. You're supposed to use your resources to enrich your local elite. And that's just intolerable for the U.S. if Venezuela was not going along with that. So therefore, they have to be destroyed.
That's sort of the point, is, Venezuela, once you destroy it, you destroy an entire regional program. I mean, Trump has now sanctioned Gustavo Petro, the elected president of Colombia, because he protested the killing of Colombian citizens on the high seas on boats without any legal process whatsoever. And our friend Dan Kovalik is his lawyer, so he's in good hands with Kovalik. But and Petro's speaking out, so he's sanctioned. They're going to target Lula in Brazil on behalf of Trump's ally, the Bolsonaro family, and ultimately they would like to topple the Diaz-Canel in Cuba and install, Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio's local stooges in Cuba, and topple the government of Nicaragua, the elected government of Nicaragua. Trump is mulling 100% sanctions on Nicaragua. But I thought the funniest thing about that clip was, Lindsey Graham, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me about having Venezuela's the 51st state. Is this what MAGA voted for?
Yeah.
You know how anytime like the Department of Homeland Security, like fascist Zoomers show like a clip of like Salvadorans being humiliated in the streets by ICE, there'll be hundreds of replies from MAGA saying, I voted for this. Yes, this is what I voted for. I voted for sadism. Okay, maybe that's true. You did vote for that. You're a depraved individual, but that's what you voted for. Did you actually vote for having 28 million Venezuelans become citizens of the United States? Like, I thought you didn't like that. That's not what you voted for. Now they're openly admitting it. They're flaunting it. They're just like rubbing it in your face. They have total contempt for you. Lindsey Graham is Donald Trump's top golf buddy. He's taken over Trump's foreign policy. He's running the show from Ukraine to Venezuela. And he's joking about making Venezuela the 51st state. You mean nothing. You were just conned. You were bamboozled. You were hoodwinked.
Yeah.
Marco Rubio's in charge. Remember little Marco? Trump used to run the best attack ads on Marco Rubio in 2016.
He used to say that Marco Rubio is controlled by Sheldon Adelson. And that he's a puppet of Sheldon Adelson. Well, now Trump has enlisted Marco Rubio and joined him as effectively a puppet of the Adelsons.
Yeah, I mean, it's over. MAGA was the fakest con job, and this is the proof.
And even if, Venezuela's not going to become the 51st state, as Sean Hannity was fantasizing about, I mean, did MAGA people vote for creating millions of migrants by imposing sanctions on a foreign country that we have nothing to do with? Because that's what these sanctions do, is they cause people to flee economic deprivation. That's what they're designed to do. That's the whole point of them. They wreak havoc all around the world. Do people vote for that? And that's the beauty of sanctions from like a sadistic point of view, is you can cause huge havoc in foreign countries. You can destabilize foreign countries without having to send aircraft carriers, as Trump is now doing to Venezuela. And by the way, Obama helped set the stage for all of this by declaring Venezuela to be an extraordinary national security threat.
Yep, 2015.
He declared a national security emergency, right, over Venezuela.
This is a bipartisan project. Let's not put it all on Rubio's shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, Trump has taken it to a new level, but Obama helped lay some of the groundwork by kicking off the sanctions and labeling Venezuela a national security threat to the U.S. Everyone knows that's a complete lie. Venezuela is only a threat to the U.S. and that it's not under its control. That's it.